I'm presenting on behalf of the team that have been conducting work on optimizing smart dairy technologies for improving productivity of dairy farmers in Uganda. And I would like to start by giving a background. Productivity or dairy farming in Uganda, as you are all aware, over years and over time, it has been gaining popularity, and it is still gaining popularity. And also over years, the challenges to dairy farming productivity have been documented, have been identified. In particular, I want to mention, like in 2010, as well as 2016, and even the recent sector strategic development plan and frameworks, they have identified what are the key challenges of dairy sector. And mainly, I can highlight them. As you could see projected there, they are the problem with the genetics, feeds, as well as monitoring and evaluation. These have been well documented time and again. And therefore, it is no secret. Nevertheless, it is also very obvious that in Uganda, we have what I have called suboptimal productivity of the dairy sector. And this project is mainly trying to see how this suboptimal productivity can be addressed, leveraging on existing information as well as resources. So the aim, the ultimate aim, if I can start what we want to achieve by the end of this project, was that Makerere University as an institution should have a package which is in itself smart, that they can give to any prospective dairy farmer, and that farmer is, if he can take that package seriously, will be will have a benefit of his investment. Now, what I'm presenting here is a baseline of what we have done, because this project is supposed to be a multi-year, and we have focused on doing a baseline, and we did two main aspects. The baseline was, because if all this information is available, what has been the missing link? And we thought to get the critical missing links was to conduct sociology of dairy farming in Uganda. And we conducted this in, the aim was to do it in all the 6 milk sheds of Uganda, but we managed to cover the 4 milk sheds, whereby we covered a district per milk shed, and we got very interesting data. That was a survey. Then another aspect we did was to also collect baseline data, because from the information that we have, we know suboptimal productivity, apart from being limited by genetics, we know we need to have the metabolic profiles of the animals that are being kept. And here we singled out some of the, what I would call elite farmers who are already organized. And these are the dairy farmers network. I hope they are presented here, because one of the chair, the current chair, was actually part of this research team, Dr. Patrick Sechimpi. So we singled out some of the elite farmers, and we tried to profile the metabolic, sometimes they call it nutrition profiles, to see how any intervention could be done. And in the process, and a lot of data have been collected. Some is still being processed, but here I have singled out some of the baseline data that we have come up with. First of all, we actually found that the genetic profile of our animals is really in much need. When we talk about dairy farmers, the genetic profile is still a challenge. We also discovered that actually most of our dairy sector is by smallholders, smallholder farmers. Apart from actually in Mbarara, in general, the dairy farmers keep not more than 10 animals if you have to do a profile. Yes, you will find some few exceptions who exist, but generally the information has come, but also to confirm the milk yield, very suboptimal milk production. It is really challenging, and you wonder how they manage to break even when some people have sacrificed to keep this. No wonder you will find that our veterinary services, which in Uganda usually they are hinging mainly on practice with farm animals, they are challenged because the net income for these people from the animals, the net return is still a challenge. We also found that maybe as part of the challenge, most of the farmers just heavily, if not exclusively, rely on natural pastures. And there have not been any effort either to grow or um, manage their pastures. The only management they do is if they have cleared and removed some bushes, that's it. But find that they are enhancing the available technology, planting pastures, it is really not a practice there. And we want to make sure that we bring it out. And as such, feed formulation is is not that much considered among these farmers. And when they talk about feed formulation or supplementary feeding, you mainly they are talking about giving uh, domestic waste products from feed crops, as you can see in the picture. And most of the supplementation, only here supplementation, they are talking about just salt, either in terms of rock salt or mineral leaks. And I'm talking about here the general trend. You may find some very, very few exceptions, but those are even, we found that they were rare. Now, we carried out a metabolic profile, and we found that 60%, and this was done in what I would consider the elite farmers. 60% of the cows actually suffer negative energy balance. And you can imagine once animals are in that state, their productivity can never come up to, to, to the level that would give a benefit to the farmer. Because when we talk about negative energy balance, it means they do not have that extra to produce in terms of milk, which the farmer should be looking at. They are not going to come onto heat or to be ready to breed in time. And as such, the owner or the farmer is operating at a loss. So we found that, and that, as we said, this was a baseline. And the next step, we are supposed now to work closely with the farmer and do interventions such that if you have negative energy balance on your farm, we know what you are practicing. We know what should be improved. Let us do it and show to the farmer what gain can be. This is supposed to come up in the next phase. As you said, it is a multi-year project. COVID interrupted it like any other activities, but we are glad because we have been interacting with the secretariat that we have got some extensions to be able to make sure that we make the baseline very firm and be able to be granted the next phase so that we can see it to the conclusion. So So that is so far what we have achieved. I wanted to mention that according to the project, to be able to give what I have said as Makerere, to give a package for dairy farming, there are other pending issues, pending objectives haven't done. We have profiled the available feed ingredients in Uganda. That profile has been done. What we need now is to construct what we call a dairy feeds calculator, such that it is available both as a soft um, program where people or farmers can make their own total mixed ration according to what they have. That should be done in the next phase. Secondly, we want, working with the NAGRIC and all the relevant sector, to coin and develop a breeding program so that our farmers can actually get what I would call relevant genetics for improving their productivity. And therefore, but on top of that, we need some deliberate training and sensitization of our farmers so that they can actually get value from their investment. We need to enhance the extension workers so that they are available to help the farmers. So those are the immediate recommendations that we have from the work that so far we have done. I would like to appreciate greatly the government of Uganda, who have provided the funding that now is helping us to support our society. I thank the Makerere University, RIF, for all the tireless efforts they have gone through to make sure that this research and innovations platform is vibrant and really turning around the face of Makerere. I thank also, in absentia, the farmers who participated in this baseline survey and who are continuing to support us, and of course, my colleagues and all of you who are now listening and attending to this meeting today. Thank you so much.